Right, in this video, I'm going to rebuild in Newcastle United on FIFA 23 career mode. As we all seen last season, Newcastle ended up getting Champions League football unexpectedly, as people were thinking after the takeover it's going to be a slow rebuild. They'll get maybe Europa League, Conference League, but first season, get Champions League. So in this rebuild, I've got them in the Champions League to see how they'll get on with the squad that they've got now, and we're going to make it improvements, some realistic signings. We're going to be getting rid of some players as well. First off, let's look at the squad that they've got. The improvements we're probably going to need to make are probably getting another centre back in, definitely get a left back, one or two attackers and one or two midfielders. That's probably the aim. Don't know what players I'm going to go for yet, but you'll soon find out. Right, I've done my transfer business. I'm going to show you in a sec. The season is already underway. We're on deadline day at the moment. So these are the players that I was looking at that I didn't get, and then I'll show you the sales, and then I'll show you the people that I brought in. So the players that I shortlisted that we didn't get were Harry Maguire, Kieran Tierney, and Kvaratskhelia. Kvar, I'm going to call him. These are the type of players I was looking at. I know they've been linked to Kvar in real life. A lot of money on this game, I can't afford him. Tierney was an option, but I went with another left back. And Harry Maguire was another option, but I went with another centre back. The players that we have brought in this window, first one is Chakawi. 10 million he cost me. He can play cam, left wing, right wing. 19 years old, French. Wonder kid coming through at the moment at Lyon. Has been linked with Newcastle in real life. Thought Newcastle need a bit of creativity, considering I haven't showed you the sales yet, but you'll see why I've brought him in. Next purchase is Harvey Barnes. This looks like it is going to happen in real life. Like he's soon to join. 20 million he cost me with a player in the deal. I can't remember who that was. Great, it'd be a great sign for Newcastle. He was really good for Leicester the past couple of seasons, even though they got relegated last year. Him and Maddison, probably the standout players for them. The left back we went for instead of Tierney was Fran Garcia from, I think it was from Real Vallecano, I'm pretty sure. 14.5 million he cost me, 23 years old, 76 rated. Looks like a really good attacking fullback, and that's what I wanted. Tierney was a bit different. There's another option. He was more a defensive option. Very good going, but he's still decent going forward, Tierney. He's underrated, I think, at Arsenal. I feel like Fran Garcia might be... It's just something different to go for, see how it works out. The next signing is one that has already happened for Newcastle, and which near enough all my budget went on. 67.8 million for Tonali. You know how good Tonali is if you've watched AC Milan in the Champions League and in Serie A. Unbelievable talent. I really do think he's going to shine for Newcastle this season, take them to the next level. And my final signing is Alex Diassi from Monaco. Cost me 25 million plus Jamal Lascelles as well. 24 years old, 79 rated. He is built like a brick shit house. 6'3". Newcastle need another young centre back alongside Botman. Shaw is 31 now. He's still a decent centre back, Shaw, but that's why I didn't go for Maguire in the end, because there's only 2 years difference and he was low rated. But in real life, he would bring the experience. But I feel like Diassi for this build is perfect. So the main players that we have sold in this career mode is number 1, Sean Longstaff for Villa for 21 million. Ryan Fraser to Palace for 4.3. Matt Ritchie to Fenerbahce for 1.6. Paul Dummett to Transport for 2.1. And this is the big boy, Saint Maximin to PSG for 30 million. I've seen that he's linked away in real life to Saudi Arabia club, so I thought we'll get rid of him, see how they can cope. I do think it's time for Saint Maximin to move on. He is a really good player, but he doesn't really fit the Newcastle system. He's a bit of a maverick type player, wants to do a lot of things by himself, which he can do. I don't think Eddie Howe wants that. And Kraft for 2.8 million to Club Brugge. After showing you all the signings, all the departures, this is what the team is going to look like for this season. We've got Pope in goal, Trippier, Diassi, Botman, Garcia. Joelson's been a naughty boy and got a red. Tonali, Guimaraes, Almiron, Isak and Barnes. And then on the bench you've got Gordon, Wilson, Chikawi, Willock, Target, Shaw and Dubravka. Right, so I'm going to sim to January, find out how the team is getting on. Right, so we're in January. As you can see in the top left corner, we've got a thumbs down in orange, which is not a good sign for things to come. Hopefully, just overreacting. And we've actually doing alright in the Champions League, alright in the Prem and still in the Cups. Let's take a look now. So, as you can see in the Premier League table, we are currently 4th on 41 points. Only 4 points behind the leaders, Chelsea, who are on 45. We've lost 1 game all season in the Prem, which is incredible. We've got 8 draws though, that is too many. Even if you turn them into one, even if you could turn one of them draws into 1 win, we'd be right up there. We'd be on 44. But they have all played, most of them have played a game more than us. So hopefully when we get that game in hand, we'll still be right up there with a chance. Top 2 finish for Newcastle would be insane in this career mode. Let's check the Champions League to see if we're still in that. So in the Champions League, we got bumped out. We're not even in the Europa League. We finished on 6 points with 2 wins and 4 losses. Milan and Dynamo Zagreb went through. Salzburg obviously went into the Europa League, and we have been knocked out of the Champions League. In the Carabao Cup, we were knocked out in round 2 by Everton, who we lost to 1-0. And in the FA Cup, we're still in that. We're against Salford in the next round. Right, let's have a look at the top goal scorers. So the top goal scorer in the Premier League is Undav from Brighton, who's on 16 goals. Have we got anyone in the top bit? We have got Almiron, who is our top goal scorer in the Premier with 9 goals. Anyone else? Tonali with 8. Tonali with 8 from CDM. Are you mental? We got Isaac with 7 top assisters. Taremi from Man United. We got anyone else? Bruno with 5. Bruno Guimaraes. Tonali with 4. Tonali is balling out for us. So here's our players' stats from all competitions. As you can see, Tonali is our top goal scorer with 12 goals and 5 assists. That is incredible. How is he 4 goals in the Champions League in 6 games? Almiron with 9, Isaac with 8, Wilson with 6, Bruno 5 and 5. Like, they were the numbers I was sort of hoping for from Bruno, what Tonali's got. Harvey Barnes does not seem to be having a good time at the moment. He's not even scored in the Premier. He's got 2 assists, but he's having a slow start to the season. Hopefully he can pick it up in the second half. After spending all my money in the summer, I've got no budget to play with in January, unless I sell players, which I unlikely am going to do. So I'm going to sim to the end of the season and see where we end up. Right, we're at the end of the season. It's even worse than January. We have got a red exclamation mark at the top left corner. We had the thumbs down, now we've got the red exclamation mark. Hopefully the second half of the season, it doesn't seem to go as well as the first half because it's gone even worse. So hopefully we might be in the top 4. I doubt it if it's looking like that. Oh, and as you can see, Newcastle United have finished 5th in the Premier League table on 68 points, joint with Arsenal. We just beat them out on goal difference to get the position. That is the most ludicrous thing I've ever seen. So in 38 Premier League games, we've got 17 wins and 17 draws and only lost 4 games all season. How have we managed to draw 17 games? That is absolutely ridiculous. 17 draws. Are you joking me? Even if we turned 2 or 3 of them into a win, we'd be pushing Man United for that 4th spot and Spurs. That is mental. Very, very close at the top of the table. I'm pretty sure it did come down to the last day of the season. I did see Spurs at the top of the table at one point. Man City in 7th. They had a massive drop off. They also drew a lot of games like us as well. 14 draws for them. So the top goal scorers in the end ended up being Haaland with 27, Salah with 25, Bruno Fernandes with 25, Sterling with 22, Jesus with 21, Isaac with 20, so he came back. He was on, I want to say he was on 8 or 7 after the first half of the season, so he had a really good second half for us. I swear Undav got 1 goal in the next half of the season. See if anyone else is there. Almiron with 12, he had a really good season. Tonali with 12 from CDM, which is incredible. What a player for us this season. So in this career mode, Mohamed Salah won player of the season. Obviously Haaland won the top award. I don't see the team in the tournament. See if we've got any players in there. So there's Alisson, Robertson, Skriniar for Spurs, Diaz, Dalot for Man United. What a season. Sterling, Fernandes, Tonali, Salah, Jesus and Haaland. So we had 1 player in the team in the tournament. So here's the players in the end for all competition stats. Isaac with 23 goals, 6 assists. So he really did have a great second half of the season. Tonali 16 goals, 6 assists from CDM, which is incredible. Best signing for this career mode by far. Almiron 13 goals, 5 assists. Incredible. Johnson 7 goals. Bruno 6 goals, 8 assists. Cam Wilson didn't get much playing time. I don't know if he got injured or he just wasn't getting subbed on. 6 goals in the end in 15 games. Joe Willock seems to have contributed a bit. 5 goals, 6 assists, 26 Prem games. Harvey Barnes has to be the stinky signing of the season. 21 games, 0 goals, 3 assists. What a flop of a signing for me. I thought he was going to do really well here at Newcastle, but he just hasn't kicked on. Just hasn't done what I thought he would. So, this is the end of the Newcastle rebuild. I'm very disappointed that we didn't win a trophy, that we didn't get Champions League football in the Prem. 17 draws in the Premier League is very unlikely to happen again. I feel like if we reran the season back, bolstered the squad a bit more, and potentially if we had a bigger budget at the start of the season, we could have got that one extra player to take us over the line. It was a shame that Harvey Barnes was very, very poor for us. He was one of the key players, along with Tonali, that I brought in and thought, oh, he'll do really well for us, but clearly not. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please drop it a like. Let me know in the comments what team you want me to do next, and peace.